Hi, I'm Greg and I'm going to talk to you today about how to turn a bowl using a lathe. Alright, the first step in our process is to kind of carve out the shape of the bowl that you're going to make. So you take a waxed blank, once it's dried, I'm going to mount this piece right onto the blank. You can see here's the 4 holes that I mounted it on. Don't worry about the holes right now because this is actually what we're going to carve out a little later on. But once you mount that, the back, you can then turn and use your lathe tools to make this nice and smooth and take all the wax off. Once that's done, what you're going to do is you take your blank, and you can kind of see right here, let's see, right there, you can see that's the center of my blank. So I know the perfect center because that's where the little tool mark I made to show the center when I was turning it. So now that we know the exact center of that blank, that circle, we're going to take this, and we're going to end up gluing this on here, and then that's what we're going to attach this to. That way we don't ruin the wood, but the glue will actually hold it on. Once we're done with our bowl, we'll take this and we'll file that down, chisel it off, and then end up sanding the bottom of the bowl. Before we start, we're going to go ahead and get a center finder. You can pick this up at any place, any woodworking place, for about $8-9. And we're going to take our blank, we're going to find our center, and then we're going to drill that hole in the very center and start the process. Now that I've found our center, so you can see the grain is going from left to right. So I'm going to alternate the screw holes so that you don't split the wood. So the grain goes this way, and the holes are there, 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 and there, with the grain. Now that we've mounted this onto our little piece of wood here, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the lathe. And I'm going to take a chuck, I'm going to put the smallest drill bit you can find into that chuck, and put that in the other end. What we're going to do is we're going to take this drill, we're going to drill a hole in the very center of this. And then we're going to match that center up to the center of our blank. Alright, now that we've found the center of our blank, we're going to match this up, turn on our drill press, start screwing it in. This is going to drill all the way through and act as a guide when we actually match this up with our bowl. Now that we've made that center hole, take a small nail and we'll put that right in the center of that hole. And that's what we use to line up the blank to our piece of wood here. You see, when you're matching up a blank to a piece of wood like this, it's very hard to get it lined up just right. So what I'll do is I found the live center when this tool was mounted on the blank, made a note of that, a little indentation in there, and then here I've got my nail, so when I spread glue all over this board and glue it onto here, I'll be able to line it just exactly up to where I need it. Alright, we're ready to glue the blank to this piece of wood here. Get this process started. So here I've got CA glue. It's very strong, very potent stuff, so be sure to wear your glasses. Start a little diameter circle here, spiral. Now we're going to take this nail and line it up at that dead center mark right there. Actually, I'm going to put this down and spread it around a little bit, make sure we get not get enough glue there. Okay. Now we're going to line this up. Set that down into there. Start clamping it down. Alright, here we are. We're all clamped up. We're going to let it dry overnight, and then we'll start hollowing out that center. Here's a piece here that I've hollowed out. You can see the same wood on there. This is roughed out, but it's still a little wet, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it roughed out throw it back on the shelf. Make sure that dries out. It's nice to hollow it out just a little bit. Lets air in there and lets the rest of the wood dry. Because right now the whole thing's just about over an inch thick in the center, in the middle there, and then about an inch thick on the edges.